So in the previous video, we have installed Python as well as the VS Code IDE onto our system. Now we are going to be setting up OpenCV for our development and getting started with learning about OpenCV. So for that, first of all, we will just open a browser, and over here, we're going to be searching for virtual env. So I will type here virtual env, and we will just search for it. And after searching that, we will get this first result, which will say virtual env PI, and we're going to be just copying this particular command from here, and we're going to be just opening a terminal over here, and we're going to be installing this virtual env onto our system. So using it, we can create a virtual environment for our Python development, and we can create multiple environments for different projects. So this particular project, which is our OpenCV, so for that, we're going to be creating an environment in which we're going to be creating a isolated version of Python. So it will be not using the default version of our Python, which is the global version that we have installed on our system. Instead of that, we're going to be using this virtual env. So I will just go to the documentation and just try to find out the command to create a virtual env. So over here, let me just try to find out. So this is the command that we can use to create a virtual environment. So here I will just type here Python -m, and I will just paste this command, and I will name the virtual environment as OpenCV. And if I hit enter, so it will create a new virtual environment inside this particular folder that I have created, that is OpenCV. Over here, you can see it has created a new folder which says OpenCV, and inside that we have our virtual environment that it has created for us. So now I will do cd OpenCV, and in that we're going to be going into cd scripts, and we will just run the file that is activate.bat, and if I hit enter, so it will start the virtual environment for us. So let me see. Okay, I am unable to see the virtual environment. Instead of this, I will just type here cmd, and now if I do activate.bat, in that case over here you can see it is showing the OpenCV virtual environment that is activated now. So once we are done with this, I've added a image inside of a folder which is space.png. You can see this is the image that I have added in our folder, and in this particular video we will just try to read this image using our OpenCV code. So I hope you understand the concept of virtual environment, and now if we install any package inside our virtual environment, it will not be merged with the global version of Python that we have installed on our system. So now we will just try to close this, and we're going to be opening a new file that I will name as main.py. And after that, I will just try to minimize this. I will just zoom a little bit, and we are going to be installing OpenCV first of all onto our system. So for that, we will just go on the browser, search for OpenCV, Python, and we will get this first result for OpenCV. We will just click over here, and we will just try to copy this command. We'll go back into our VS Code. We will open the terminal and just paste this command in here. And if I hit enter, so it will start installing this particular package onto our system. So it will take few minutes to install it. It depends on the internet speed. It has downloaded the package. It is just trying to install it, and you can see it has successfully installed the package onto our system. Now once we are done with this, we can just try to import it inside our code. So if I do import, so over here you can see the command for installing it on our system was OpenCV-Python, but while we are importing it in our code, we will just type here import cv2. So the package is called cv2, and after that we will just try to print out the version. So we will do cv2 dot underscore underscore version underscore underscore, and here is the code. We just need to save this, and if we try to run it, so in the output you can see here is the version of this particular OpenCV package that we have installed. So if I just try to close this particular thing, and over here you can see we have installed the Python version 3.11. If I just go over here, and you can see here is the recommended interpreter for our code, that is the OpenCV interpreter. So I will just try to select this instead of the global one, and if I just try to save this now and try to run it, so in the output you can see we are getting the appropriate version of the OpenCV that we have installed on our system. So once we are done with this, we will just try to comment out this part, and we're going to be just trying to read this particular file that we have added inside our folder. So we'll just try to read it now. So let me just try to add some code to read this particular image file. So for reading this file, we just need to create a variable that we will name as img, which stands for image, and we will do cv2 dot imread. So this is a built-in function in OpenCV that we can use to read the images. So in here, we're going to be providing the name of the image that we want to read. So in our case, the name of the image is space dot png, and after that, we'll just try to do cv2 dot imshow. So using this imshow function, we can display an image to the user. So we are going to be creating a frame that we will name as image, and we will provide the image that we want to display. In our case, it is img, and after that, our code should look something like this. After that, we are going to be doing cv2 dot wait key. So using this wait key, we can pause the image that is displaying on our screen, and whenever we click a button, after that it will close the window for us. So it is going to be creating a window. Inside this, it will display the image that we have added over here, and after that it will just wait for a key to be pressed, and after pressing the key, it will just shut down the window. So we are also going to be closing the windows once the user click on any key. So for that, we will do cv2 dot destroy all windows, and we're going to be calling this function. So this is a built-in function in cv2 library using which we can destroy or close all the windows that it has opened for the OpenCV package. Once we are done with this, we will just try to save the code, and if we just try to run it, so it should display an image which is this one from our folder, and just try to show it to the user. So let's try closing this, and if we just try to save it and try to run it, in the output you can see here is the image, and you can see here is the image that it is displaying to us. If I just click on any button on our keyboard, so it will just close the window for us. So this is how we can display an image to the user with the help of imshow function. So what happens if I just remove this wait key from here? So if we just try to save it and try to run it, so you can see on the screen that it is just flashing the image. It is not waiting for the key to be pressed. Instead of that, it is just flashing the image for a second. If I just try to run it again, you can see there was a flash of the image. So for displaying the image to the user and waiting for a key press, we can just add this wait key function, and we can just set it to 0. So if the user press any key, it will just shut down this window or destroy this particular window that we have created with the help of destroy all windows function. So let's say I want to display this image twice. So in that case, what I can do is I can just try to copy this from here, and over here I will just add the image 2, and if I just try to save this, and if we try to run it again, now you can see we are displaying this image twice with the help of this imshow function, and this same image is being displayed twice. So similarly, we can add multiple images in here, and you can just display it to the user with the help of the imshow function. I will just hit any key, and it will just close the windows for us. So over here, let's try to convert this image into grayscale. So for converting this image to grayscale, what we can do is in here where we are just reading the file, in that case, we will just add a comma over here, and we can provide a flag with this particular name of the file. So I will set the flag to 0. In that case, it will convert this image into grayscale. If I just try to save it and try to run the code over here in the output, you can see now it has converted the image into grayscale. So using this particular parameter that we have added in the imread function, we can just change the image from color to grayscale by providing a 0 over here. So you can see we have provided a 0, and in that case it has converted the image to grayscale. If I provide here 1, in that case it will just show the color image, and if I just provide here -1, in that case also it should show us the color image. So this is how we can change the image from color to grayscale by just providing a 0 over here with the name of the file. So it will convert the image into grayscale. So I hope you got a clear idea of how we can convert the image into grayscale. So after converting the image into grayscale, we want to also save it somewhere. So for saving the image, what we can do is we can call the imWrite function, and using it, we can just save the image in our folder. So for that, what I will do is over here, I will just try to uncomment this part, and instead of imShow, I'm going to be calling the imWrite function. And after calling this particular function, we are going to be naming this file. So we're going to be naming the file as gray underscore space dot jpg, and you can see we are taking the input in the form of png file, and we are storing the grayscale image in the jpeg file. So if I just try to save the code, and if we just try to, after that I will just open the explorer over here, so you can see the file to be written in the real time. And if we just try to run our code, so in the output you can see we are getting the grayscale image, as well as it has created the gray underscore space dot jpeg file for us. And if I just hit enter, so it will just close this grayscale image for us. And if we just click on this gray space, so you can see here is the image that it has saved for us, and here is the other image that we have added to it as an input, that was a color image. So this is how you can convert an image into grayscale, and you can also save it with the help of the imWrite function. So I hope you got a clear idea of how you can read, write to an image and also convert it into grayscale with the help of OpenCV package. So I think that was it for this particular video on performing different operations with the help of the image. So without further ado, let's move to the next lesson of our course.